Hello everyone, today we'll be doing a solo Grandmaster Nightfall Proving Grounds with Hunter. For my subclass, I'll be using Night Stalker. For my kinetic, I'll be using a Scout Rifle with 3 rounds and a kinetic tremors. Next, I'll be using optional is a glaive. For my heavy, I'll be using Leviathan's Breath. This week, I decided to go for Hunter. And we're going to be using some weapons with the Scout Rifle, kinetic tremors, with a glaive. I'll tell you why. It is a silly reason, by the way. And Leviathan's Breath. I haven't used Leviathan's Breath for a long time on Proving Grounds. The last time I used it was on Warlock. And with a blue sky rifle. Yeah, I know, crazy. Why would I use that? Well, during that time there was no solar scouts. I just said, I just gonna use a blue sky rifle for they were shield matchmaking, if I remember, and it was really hard to break the shields compared to now. So now we're going to deal with the Unstoppable Champion. I did shoot down the turrets, so we're going to take him down. Then we have these new mods where there's Void Starvation. You usually get it on your Void abilities or Void weapons. I highly recommend to use some Void weapons, such as a grenade launcher for a special weapon. Pretty much anything you are most comfortable with, and yes, darn it, console aim assist. Anyway, we're going to deal with a buried champion, and he does a machine gun. Make sure you take down the turrets. Should be around here. There he is, hopping like a bunny. What an adorable buried champion. Yes, he likes to shoot his machine gun. And with the power of the kinetic tremors, it'll be easily to take him down. You can switch to Leviathan's Breath. Leviathan's Breath also has the Unstoppable perk. Could be a little free of the loadouts you want to use. Alright, you don't have to use Leviathan's Breath. I mean, if you despise it and you hate bows, then I might as well just say use Anarchy, because Anarchy is probably going to be the meta for this week, with probably any special weapon, like maybe a grenade launcher, a void, especially with the Void Starvation. And when you do fill up the Void Starvation, right, then you're going to have ability surge around 20 seconds where your super is going to regenerate and your grenade. And depending what subclass you are, especially on prismatic, you can just spam abilities like crazy. Alright? And spam your super like crazy. Nah, I decided to use a glaive because, well, like I said, it is probably a silly excuse. One, I have never used a glaive for Proving Grounds. And the reason why is the old Proving Grounds version was extremely difficult to the point where it was kind of strict of me using the Sky Oath Scout Rifle and also these other exotic weapons I was forced to use because the tank room was a nightmare, breaking the bubble was a nightmare. That's the reason why. And I never had an opportunity to use a glaive at all at Proving Grounds for many years, and also a lot of bugs, champion rocks, everything. Right. Also, I want to test this glaive out on the boss because I was super curious. I was just trying to find some sweet spots to do DPS at the mini boss. So when you do take down the champions, then the mini boss will spawn. Now, I did make jokes about this boss. If you looked at my old videos, you can actually just get close to him and then just keep shooting him or melee him or pretty much anything you want. So once you clear the ads, then you can melee him because he doesn't stomp. Now they tweak him a bit. He can stomp when you are close by, so it's no fun anymore. They do have these bands, and the one that I have is mines, so he likes to throw some mines. Yeah, I know. What? And it's RNG. You could get bad luck and get the drainer. You could get the shocker, the healer. Healer is the worst, to be honest. The drainer and the healer is probably the worst for GMs. And if I have to be super honest, the one thing I don't like about these bans is I wish it was fixed. I wish it wasn't RNG, because there will be moments where they're going to be an issue of dealing with them on certain nightfalls, like maybe battlegrounds, for example, and I hate battlegrounds. So we're gonna do some DPS at the boss. So like I said, he used to be a joke where I just get close to him and just spam Telesto, or I make fun of him a lot because he doesn't stomp. But now he stomps, so boo. Now they did some tweaks on this boss. So you actually have to do DPS at this spot, unfortunately. If you are using void weapons, such as the grenade launcher, or if you're using Anarchy, you could just Anarchy away and the DPS will be much faster. So once you do half of his health, there should be another unstoppable champion from the left side. So I decided to use Tether. I'm going to wait until they all get tethered, and unstoppable champion should be around here. For some reason I missed my shot there. Alright. Second time's the charmer. Using Leviathan's breath, you can also combo it with tremors, with the glaive. I'm also getting ability surge a bit. And now I have half of my super, so now I can use my super again if I want to, once I can gather a bit. So now I'm going to turn invisible, and usually if you are using Anarchy, it takes about 1 shot. Back in the day, I think it was around 2 to 3 shots. So for the glaive, it's probably around 6, but if you are using an arc glaive, it'll be 5, but I decided to use the void because of the void starvation modifier, pretty much. Also, I forgot to take down the turret from the back, so my bad. Usually there's a turret from the left, far left, and the far right side. So now I'm going to do DPS of the boss. I'll be aware he can shoot missiles, he can shoot this machine gun. So pretty much he'll just gonna be standing there. Now on the old version, he usually walks away a little bit back from the left side. For some reason he wasn't so much for this run. Maybe because of kinetic tremors, he's just standing there. It could be that reason, I'm not sure. But hey, it works better for me, because I could just stand behind his wall and I don't have to get harassed by his missile or his machine gun so much. So when you do take him down, then we're going to go to the next area. And the next area is probably the one where everyone despises. It's the tank room. And I gotta be really honest, I feel they did some tweaks at the tank room. And I feel that the tank room is way easier than the old version, because the tank's health isn't as tanky as before. And if you are minus 20 for a GM, then it's even way more less health. Ever. Since it's crazy. And from what I remember, the tank room, now there's going to be these bands. And like I said, it's completely RNG, so I really hope you don't get the drainer or the healer, because those two are the ones are going to be a pain a bungee compared to the other ones. So I am going to take a look and see. So there are snipers from left and right. You can use kinetic tremors with a scout to take down the cabal. So I'm not gonna go down yet, because once I go down, then all these ads are going to demolish me. I do want to take down these mini machines first, like this one from the right. Then there'll be one from the left. Then there'll be one from the back side. Now there's also going to be a little mini boss gold bar. It's either going to be a Scion or a Cabal. I would prefer a Scion over a Cabal because they just jump too much and they're super annoying to deal with. Unfortunately, I didn't get the Scion, so unlucky me. But we are going to deal with these pilots or these annoying little Scions that have this machine that can one-shot you. And then there's going to be this mini Cabal boss. And you could use your super and take him down. But I just thought it would be hilarious if I could shoot the toe of the mini boss. Because I remember on the old version, I had to use a solar scout with explosive payload to get this method done. Because I remember these guys used to one-shot me, well, two-shot me that time. And like I said, these bands are RNG. The one I have, from what it looks like, it is a shocker. It does electric or arc. You can just go down, use your super, and take him down quickly. Just be aware that there are 2 bigger champions, and you must do as much DPS as you can. And this method is not a must do. It is optional if you are having trouble dealing with this mini boss. For me, I just thought it'd be hilarious to do this method because I've never done this before. Usually I just get a scout and with explosive payload and then just take him down like that. But I never done it with kinetic tremors, so I just thought it'd be hilarious. So yeah, isn't this fun? I must shoot the toe, just like Light Blade, as a joke. And now I'm doing it again on Proving Grounds. The toe must be demolished. Now we're going to deal with 2 snipers. Now be aware there are snipers from left to right. You must take down the sniper, one of them, as quickly as possible, and then move from the left or right depending which sniper you take down. You can see that the left sniper almost got me. I would be like on red health. I wouldn't like get one shot from it. When you do stand on this spot, then Cabals will push and throw their grenades, which is super annoying. Just be aware that the Cabal can shoot arc blasts from this spot, depending of their mood. And sometimes this rarely happens. I haven't had this happen for this season so far. But sometimes the barriers can push. And when they do push, it is a chance for you to do DPS. But we don't really need to rely on that method, because the kinetic tremors is going to help you deal with the barrier champions, or pretty much Anarchy if you are using Anarchy as well, or using a strong super to deal with the bigger champions too. So kinetic tremors is going to break the barrier shields. Now I think on this footage I was trying to do DPS at the barrier champions and then with Leviathan's breath, but one of the bubbles blocked my way when I was using Leviathan's breath, which was pretty ridiculous if I had to be super honest. really hate when that moments happen where you're trying to do DPS a little bit more faster, but then this bubble gets in the way. Like that. Gosh, what else could go wrong in Proving Grounds? Just be very careful with Bear Champion when they're trying to protect themselves. When their buddy's in trouble, don't worry buddy, I got ya, I'll use my bubble. So they can waste ammo. And that's what happened. That's what the Berry Champions were thinking when I was trying to use Leviathan's Breath. Alright, but like I said, you don't have to use Leviathan's Breath. You can use Anarchy. Because there are artifact mods for Anarchy. Especially to deal with unstoppable champions. If you are having trouble with unstoppable champions. So now I'm going to deal with the war beasts or the dogs. You can use the glaive or you can melee them, but depending on your power level, it takes around 2 hits to melee the dogs. That's why I prefer just to shoot them because it's safer and then I could use my glaive bubble. And yes, the glaive I'm using is the replenishing, I guess, ages or I'm using the disabling rounds. It's pretty good for ad clear and such. You can also get one, well not for this glaive. But from what I remember I got this glaive from a quest. But it's been a long time. Because I used to use the Enigma, but the problem with Enigma is it doesn't have the replenishing ages. That's the problem with it, where this glaive has it. So anyway, I'm going to shoot these barrels, and then once I shoot the barrels, we're going to deal with the tank room. Now, the super I have isn't the strongest to deal with tank. So the strongest for my loadout is going to be Leviathan's Breath. Or if I was using Anarchy, I would use Tether and then just Anarchy and just move around the map. Or I could stay in one little spot, but the problem is I have to DPS the tank really quickly before it starts to see me. Pretty much that's the method of what I'm going to do. So I'm gonna go from the right side. I think before I went to the left before, if I remember, but I'm gonna go from the right side this time. And I'm gonna try to make sure the tank doesn't see me yet. Alright, usually on Warlock or Titan, I would try to be at this spot before the tank opens, before the tank room. Before the tank objective, but since I'm on Hunter, I could turn invisible. I'm gonna deal with the tank. I'm gonna do some DPS before the door closes. If I was using Anarchy, then yeah, I guess I would use Anarchy here or Kinetic Tremors. So I wanna deal with the tank. He can't see me yet. Nice try, tank. I remember this method was so tough to do, but now it's a bit easier. So he did see me. But it doesn't really matter. He's going to be taken down. So I'm going to turn invisible. And I'm just going to go and take down the next tank. Because my first objective is dealing with the tank, especially in the fire team. And once you take down all the tanks, then you can have all these ads to move from the middle. Now, someone may say, why not take down the barrier champion and then deal with the tank? Now, if I remember, I don't know if this method is still the same. But if you kill the barrier champion and then you kill one tank, then you're going to have an additional barrier champion. So doing this method, you'll skip one champion, but you'll still get platinum. Alright? And I'm not sure if it's still there, because I haven't tried it. I haven't tried taking down one barrier while the tanks were alive. And then I take down one tank and then another barrier spawns. I haven't tried it because I never really like going for that method. I just prefer to take down the tanks as quickly as possible. On Titan, on Warlock, on Hunter, I try because I don't want to deal with the snipers harassing me. I don't want to deal with barriers annoying me. And especially with the tank room where the tanks are shooting this solar blast at me. And it's just better to take them down as quickly as possible because all these ads just move in the backside. Yeah, the snipers could be annoying. But the thing is, you can go on top of this little platform. It's safe now. During the first phase of the tank room, you can't go up here. You can't. Because there's an infinite amount of ads, cabals that will spawn from the door. But during this phase, you can go on top of here and then just relax and just do DPS. This is basically the method I usually do, especially on the old version. The same thing, I just go on top of here and just do DPS. And yes, the berry champion likes to hop around. My goodness, he doesn't want to give up. Also, these cabals you see from the backside of mini bosses, the shields are going to be RNG. Sometimes you get the solar shield, void shield, arc shield. I am quite amazed that the mini boss is not harassing me because usually they like to harass you. They just float and then shoot his void attack or his arc attack. So I'm actually surprised that they're not being aggressive towards me. Once I take down the mini boss and the barrier champion, you can gather all the ammo and then go to the next area, the champion rocks. Be aware, there will be champion rocks. Now the good news is that they nerfed the rocks. So back in the day, the old version, oh dear Bungie the Traveler and the Speaker, they can one-shot you. Yeah. So there were moments where I'm focusing on a champion or the ads and then they just one-shot me. I mean, imagine that you take down the tank, you're happy, and then the rock kills you. I mean, doesn't that make you feel horrible? I mean, imagine talking to your friends, hey, so how was Proving Ground solo? Well, I killed a tank and a rock killed me. I mean, they would just laugh at you, right? But it's no joke. Yes, the champion rocks was a thing. Well, I give them the nickname, they're champion rocks, but everyone would say these rocks will one-shot you. Now they're nerfed, so even if you get hit by a rock, it won't one-shot you. You'll just be on red health, or very tiny health. Pretty much. But sometimes they could push you off the edge, but you could avoid and survive. You could survive. So anyway, we're going to deal with the Scions, with the Cabals. And then we're going to go to the next room. So that's the good thing about the tweaks for Proving Grounds, because now the rocks won't one-shot you. So happy day for everyone. And happy day for new players. They don't have to deal with the champion rocks trying to one-shot you. I was trying to see if the rocks can one-shot me. I was just curious. What if I use a glaive bubble on the rocks? Will it one-shot me? Or will I be protected? So now I'm going to deal with the ban. And this one is the stasis. So be very, very careful with this guy because he is dangerous. And it's RNG. You can get the meteor, the drainer. Very RNG. I got the stasis one, so I decided to use the glaive bubble and use replenishing ages and just take advantage of it pretty much. Taking advantage of the glaive, might as well. Everything looks good, and now I can just take down the turrets. There is a barrier champion from the right side. You don't have to worry too much about it. You could just make your way at the back side, you could turn invisible, and then deal with the barrier champion. If you're not comfortable with this spot, I would prefer on Warlock. I mean, I could just pop a healing of the rift and then take down a barrier champion, but can't do that in a hunter, unfortunately. Hunters don't really have a healing of the rift. Alright, they don't have a barricade to protect themselves, so might as well just turn invisible, back away, and then deal with the barrier champion from far distance a bit. There is also a turret from the left side or the right side, depending of where you're standing. So be aware. Take down the turrets or they will take down you. Alright, I'm taking down the barrier champion. Hopefully he'll be taken down. I can pick up the orb past the unstoppable rocks. Good news is they won't one-shot me, but they will be extremely annoying to deal with. I was really hoping they could hit me. I was like, alright, champion rocks, I'm back. Will it one-shot me? Well, I just wanted to try with a glaive. But anyway, I decided to pick up the core, just look a bit. Everything looks good, nothing bad will happen. And then we're gonna dunk the orb from this little deposit machine. Then we're gonna go from the right side. So there is gonna be a couple of these ads and turrets, which I forgot where they spawn. So my bad for that. So make sure you take down the turrets and be careful with the barrier champion up ahead and the cabal. It could also be a scion, but honestly, you would want a scion over cabal, depending on what loadout you're using. But just be very careful with the turrets. I couldn't see where the turret was. I don't know about you, but for some reason in this version, it was just hard to see the turrets because I was looking at my old videos and I swear to the Bungie, it wasn't that bright, the background for me, because I remember I could see the turrets perfectly, but for some reason in this version I just couldn't see them right. Either that or it wasn't like that in the old version. Like I said, I was watching my old version and never did that, so I guess they did some tweaks on this area. I know I am being extremely picky, but if it is true, I really don't like it. Like, I want to see what I'm doing. Like, even though I'm wearing my glasses, I was having a hard time seeing what the Bungie was a barrier champion, what the Bungie was a turrets, because we haven't had proving grounds for a long time, so I kind of forgot where the turrets was, but now I know where they are. So it won't be a problem, but let's just say for players who are new to the proving grounds, this could be an issue. A big issue. But that's just me being nitpicky. Stuff like that kind of irritates me, because I used to play a lot of video games that had this kind of issue. I forgot the name of it, by the way. From the lighting. Like, it gets a little bright if you walk away far away. You have to get a little closer. Very annoying. Hated it. Especially in that game, Superman 64. Oh gosh. It was bringing me bad memories when I was seeing this issue. So once we take down the Cabal, then we're going to have more asses spawn. And we're going to deal with more bands. Alright? More bands, more of these elemental abilities. For some reason, they have it. And I have the stasis. I'm glad I didn't get the meteor. just be very careful because he can freeze you and he could one-shot you when you are frozen. So be super careful. That's why I use my super. Might as well. Can't be, you know, want to be safe. Don't want this run to be ruined because they just freeze me because this Cabal has the stasis ability. So be very careful when dealing with them, and then you can deal with the Barrier Champion. There is a couple Cabals on the right side that threw a grenade there. It's going to blind them a bit or suppress them. So you can easily take them down. Just be aware there is a champion from the far distance. Be super careful. You never know. You could just focus on shooting the Cabal and then the champion starts shooting his machine gun and that's it. You start all over again. There is a champion up ahead. He has his machine gun, so be super careful. Use Leviathan's breath, or if you want to, you can get a little closer, or pretty much just use Anarchy. But like I said, I didn't feel like using Anarchy. I was debating. I didn't think Leviathan's breath was gonna work for this GM. I'll be super honest. I just wanted to try it and see if it'll work. And it worked out, you know, pretty great. Not so bad. And plus, I get to use a glaive and get platinum rank for this GM. I mean, isn't that lovely? Isn't that nice? Using a glaive on a proving grounds. Yeah, I know. What was I doing? So now I'm going to reload my weapon. I'm gonna grab some special ammo. And I'm gonna grab the orb. Gotta just make sure the champion rocks don't not one shot me, but put me in red health. So I'm gonna go check. Oh gosh, that champion rock scared me. So anyway, we're gonna go pick up the orb. Gonna make sure we're good to go. My goodness, they really hate me. I better get out of here before I get one shot by rocks. Again, I don't want that to happen. It was the worst experience ever. If you don't believe me, I think I did upload YouTube shorts about almost getting one shot by a rock. And the barricade saved me. Like, I was on my Titan, right? And then this barricade saved me from the rock. Yeah, it was that bad. So now I'm going to be using Tether. And do DPS Unstoppable Champion. Be aware there is a machine gun. That's why I'm hiding from this little mini wall. You can also use your finisher. But hey, you know what? I'm going to use a glaive. Because I haven't really used my glaive a lot in this video. But don't worry. The good news is I actually did use the glaive a lot at the third phase. And it's pretty funny. So you'll see that very soon. I can't tell you, by the way. Because if I tell you, then I'll spoil it. Let's just say I kind of did a one-on-one with the glaive at the boss. It was pretty funny. Okay, I spoiled it. But anyway, I'm going to go for the barrier, do DPS. Throw grenade, suppressing grenade. I gotta be honest, I'm pretty good at throwing these suppressing grenades. I'm getting a little better and better. I do like the vortex grenades too, but I like it better on Warlock. I don't know why. I always have bad luck using vortex grenades on Hunter. I do like to use it on Corrupted because of the thralls. But suppressing grenades isn't so bad. I just like it. I like both. You know, sometimes I'll go for the other grenade for Hunter. You know, depends on my mood. Depends if I want to use it or not. But anyway, I'm going to take down the remaining ads. We're going to be at the boss fight. So I'm going to let everyone know I will do time skip on doing DPS at the boss. The reason why is I was just using a scout rifle and I wanted to save my heavy for the boss since my ammo isn't the best. Well, my heavy ammo isn't the best compared to the other exotics compared to Anarchy. And I just want to make sure I, do my best dealing with the unstoppable champions. And we only have 10 ammo for now. So we're going to be at the final boss. And this boss likes to do a lot of fireball no jutsu. Yes, I'm going to do a lot of jokes. Naruto jokes. He has a lot of chakra. He likes to do it infinitely. I don't know what happened, but maybe Sasuke taught him some moves. And he just said, you know what, I'm going to spam it. So he likes to use this meteor. And actually, I did the tether at the wrong spot. I'm supposed to use tether at the door from the top right side. So you can tell I forgot the ad spawns a bit on proving ground, so my bad. You must tether if you want to at the right side, not at the front left side. My bad for that. I keep forgetting that I'm supposed to tether there at the second phase, not the beginning. So now I'm going to deal with cabals, and usually at the old version, they're a pain to bungee. But not this version so much. Just be very careful with them. I wouldn't mess around with them too much. And then we got this one with shield, but with the power of the kinetic tremors. They're not of a threat at all. So now we're going to do some DPS at the Cabal. Depending on his health, he's going to shoot all this chakra. All this fireball no jutsu at you. But the good news is I'm going to time skip of him using it. And plus, I don't want to use my heavy. So now I'm going to use his chakra. Fireball no jutsu. I'm going to stand right here in the middle. And when you do stand here in the middle, the fire can't hurt you. I'm not sure why this happens. I mean, everyone pretty much found out this mini cheese. This was pretty much the mini cheese back in the day. Just make sure you stand in the middle. I'm going to do a mini time skip until the boss runs out of chakra of that fireball no jutsu meteors. After spending a few minutes of him wasting his chakra, now we get to go and do DPS at the boss. My goodness, he just goes on and on and on. So I'm going to stand at this spot. I'm not going to move. And I'm just going to do DPS. Now, you can actually do precision shots on the middle of his crown instead of the head. Now, I usually do that method if I can't do any precision shots on the head of the boss. If I can't, then I go over in the middle of the crown. That's basically the second method if you can't get the precision shots. So now I'm going to do another mini time skip because this is going to take a while. So I'm going to save your time, but not for me. I'm going to be suffering. So I'll be right back. Alright, time to go to the other side. So I'm going to be doing some DPS at the champions. Now, I'll be super honest. It wasn't the cleanest ever. It's been a year. Alright, it's been a year. So I'm going to be going for the super. And I'm going to do DPS at the unstoppable champion. Now, if you are an Anarchy, this is the perfect time for you to use Anarchy and a kinetic tremors, or your grenade launcher, or a glaive if you want to use a glaive. It's up to you. And then usually I would stand in the middle and then do DPS at the unstoppable champion. But unfortunately, I didn't do that. I forgot that I was supposed to stand there and do DPS at the second unstoppable champion. So my bad for that. I'm doing the method that I'm not supposed to do. Usually back in the day, this was the method of how they dealt with champions. But now there's an easier way to deal with champions. You just go in the middle and then do DPS. You know, pop a healing wraith or a warlock. You know, example, and then just do DPS with the boss. But you know what? But I had to do this method, the method that I'm not supposed to do. So my bad for that. I'm supposed to stand here. My goodness, Blitz, stand here. Don't go anywhere. There's meteors, chakra, fireball no jutsu, spam all over. But yeah, you can see here that once you take down all the champions, then the boss is gonna spam his chakra, and my bad for that. I almost got bungeed. But yeah, the meteors can be dangerous. You can see that the meteors can definitely hurt you. Now the funny story is the meteors used to one-shot me in the old version. But in this version, depending on your resilience and depending what power level you are, looks like they can two-shot you. But I swear to the Bungie, they used to just one-shot me. I remember when I was invisible or on Warlock, I was just jumping and then boom, meteor one-shot me. So now I'm gonna go wait a little bit. Alright, since he finished all the chakra, he's out for now. We're gonna use the glaive. So it takes around 6 shots to do DPS, to break the bubble. So now I'm gonna just shoot here. I'm gonna use the glaive bubble to protect myself. Usually if you're on Anarchy, just pop an Anarchy and then just run away with your life. But we're not gonna do that method. We're gonna go for the glaive method. So I am gonna use tether. So usually at this spot, what you could do is go inside the tunnel and stand in the middle to do DPS. So the boss won't see you. But for some reason, I had to go for this method where the boss can see me, right? And then deal with the cabal. So this was the wrong move. So my bad, I forgot that I was supposed to go inside the tunnel right after I break the bubble so he won't see me. So my bad for that. I probably did it the difficult way. I'm supposed to go the easy way. My goodness. My bad. So now the cabal saw, now the boss sees me. So now I'm going to be juggling around. You know, I could have made my life easier if I did the other method. I was trying to see where the cabals are. I was focusing more on the cabal than the boss. Like, that's all pretty much what I was thinking about. The boss, I didn't really care too much about him as long as he doesn't get near me, because his void attack can two-shot you in this run. Probably if you are minus 20 in the GM, I think it's a possibility that he could just only 3-shot you. Or maybe if you put double void with resilience. Not really 100% sure. I have not tested out this season. But I remember the old version, it was 2 shots. Always 2 shots. Or 1 shot, depending on your health. So once we take down all the ads, now we're going to do a little bit more of DPS, dealing with the boss. So first things first, make sure you take down all the ads before doing DPS of the boss. So I was just double checking. I can see there's a few more. I wanted to use Kinetic Tremors, so maybe I can get some special and heavy. That's why I didn't use my glaive a lot in my heavy. Alright, so now I'm going to do DPS of the boss. So now I'm going to do a mini time skip of me doing DPS. After spending 5 minutes of my life, we're going to deal unstoppable champions. Everyone's different. Some may just take down one unstoppable champion and then back away. For me, I'm not going to really go for that method because usually he likes to spam his chakra, fireball, no jutsu, meteors at me. And we want to deal with the unstoppable champions. Now, sometimes, I haven't seen this footage, but in the old version, for sure happens in this version, They can get a little buggy and teleport when they're stuck or something. It's weird. I don't trust these champions, so make sure you take them down as quickly as possible. They can be quite buggy. Now, just be aware that the boss can shoot his void from this distance too. So you must be very careful. Be careful of the backpacks too. So there's a backpack on the left side, so be very cautious, be very careful. And you can see the boss is trying to shoot his void attack. So make sure you use as much use as much Leviathan's breath as you can. Then pop the finisher and then shoot the backpacks, but far away. Shoot the backpack, and I forgot one from the left side, so my bad for that. That way they won't one-shot you. And now we're gonna wait for him spamming his chakra. We want his chakra to run out. Then we can break the bubble. After spending 2 minutes of my life of him spamming chakra, Fireball no Jutsu, we're gonna go break the bubble, and then we're gonna be at the third phase. Now the good news is there's no more champions. We took down all the champions. It's just gonna be a couple of Cabal ads and just the boss moving around like a psychopath and shooting his void attack. Isn't it gonna be fun? So I'm gonna use a glaive. I forgot to turn invisible here, so my bad for that. I forgot that I was on Hunter. I was thinking about something else when I was at this part. Just to let everyone know, so the reason why the boss was hurting me when I was using my glaive is I didn't have enough glaive bubble. And what I should have done is keep shooting the boss, but my bad for that. So just be aware of your glaive bubble when breaking the bubble. Alright, so now I'm going to be popping the bubble. And then we're going to clear down a bunch of ads. So during this part, this would be a good chance to clear the ads. Now, I'm probably going to go for a different method. I'm going to go all the way in the back and then just try to take down the ads. Now, be careful of the meteors. They can hurt you. So I'm going to go back and forward, try to clear down the ads first, and then deal with the boss. He will spam his Fireball no Jutsu, so be aware of that. Clear down the ads as fast as you can. Juggle around. This is the phase where the boss likes to hop around and use his void attack. If you have your super, go for it. If you have a powerful super, more powerful than the tether, then go for it. So the first objective is just to take down the ads, and then you could take down the boss. You just have to be careful with the meteors. I was waiting for him to stop using his meteor attack, his Fireball no Jutsu attack towards me, and then I can deal with him after I take down the Cabal. But yeah, it is a little annoying. It's so slow. As always, so slow, so hideous. But once he stops using that, then it'll be easier to take him down. Alright, now we're going to deal with the boss. So we're going to make him jump all the way from the back, and hopefully I can use my super and then just spam Leviathan's breath. The cool thing about Leviathan's breath is you can stagger him a bit. If I had enough Leviathan's breath, I could have made him stand there. But unfortunately, I didn't have enough. So now I'm going to be using most of my glaive. So replenishing Aegis or Aegis. And then the power of the glaive. This boss can't even one-shot me. Well, it could hurt me a little bit. You can see my health bar going low a tiny bit. But joke's on you, boss. You can't two-shot me. That's what you get from the old version. The old version, it did two-shot me. At that time, there was no glaive. Alright, there was no glaive. It didn't exist that time. And then when it did exist, I couldn't use it because I needed specific exotic weapons to deal with this boss. But not anymore for this season. I can use a glaive. And yes, he does like to stomp. Go ahead, boss. Go ahead and spam your void Kai blast because I got the glaive. Can't one-shot me. Now, do you see the power of replenishing with the glaive? Do you see why it's better than overflow? I mean, look at this. I'm going one-on-one with the boss on a glaive. Now, imagine if I had unstoppable force. This glaive doesn't have it, by the way. Just let everyone know if anyone's asking, like, why you don't have unstoppable force. This glaive doesn't have it, unfortunately. But it's still good. As long as you have the replenishing ages, you're good to go. The other mods are extra perks. The one I have is disabling rounds. It's really good for ad clear and such. Pretty good, not bad, by the way. I like it for GMs. I like it for dungeons especially. It's pretty good. It's not so bad. So now we're going to back away because I kind of want to use my super. And then we're going to glaive away. One-on-one with this boss. Go ahead, boss. Take your anger. Can't break the glaive bubble. I mean, it's trying. My goodness, this boss is not happy. Go ahead, boss. Guess what? This guardian ain't gonna go to orbit. You're gonna go to orbit. Because the power of the glaive, the replenishing, is going to be your worst enemy. Revenge! Revenge! I'm actually really happy because I had so much trouble dealing with this boss in the beginning, like the old version. And I was like in my mind, gosh, I wish I can have revenge on this boss one day. Where he shoots his void and doesn't do any effect. Came true for this season. Alright, so now I ran out of ammo. I spam way too much glaives. I apologize. I am so sorry. Now I have 0 glaive and 0 bow. I'm already bungee up. I am bungeed. I only can use a scout. I am trying my best. I'm gonna use a kinetic scout. Don't worry, guys. I got this. He's just shooting the backside. Okay, he sees me. I need to back away. And unfortunately, Bungie's not gonna give me any ammo. You know, back in the day, if you had 0 heavy, 0 special, it'll pick up ammo in the floor or in other rooms, but it doesn't really do that anymore. Bungie's kind of strict right now. Like, please, Bungie, why are you not giving me ammo? I mean, come on. I'm trying to use a non-meta loadout right now. Alright, don't worry. We'll make it. Kinetic tremors. Come on, kinetic tremors. Okay, I have my super. I'm going to back away. I'm going to use my super and take down this boss. If only I had more glaive ammo. Alright, gonna use my super and we finally take down this boss. So yay, we got platinum rank with a glaive. And I'm gonna see if I can use this for my thumbnail. Maybe around here. Okay, let's see. I see his dead body here. Okay. There we go. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.